The stranger in the uniform. The rain was pouring heavily the evening I drove home from my business trip. My husband, David, was supposed to be watching our 6-year-old daughter, Lily. He had texted me an hour earlier saying they were playing in the living room, but a strange, unsettling gut feeling had kept my foot pressed hard on the gas pedal. When I finally pulled into the driveway, the house was completely dark, save for the flickering blue light of the television. I rushed inside, shaking the water from my umbrella. "David, Lily," I called out, my voice echoing in the quiet house. No answer. I walked into the living room, and my heart instantly dropped into my stomach. Lily was lying on the couch, completely still. Her face was pale, and her breathing was shallow. "Lily, baby, wake up," I screamed, rushing to her side and shaking her shoulders. Her head lolled back, unresponsive. I panicked, spinning around to look for David. "David, where are you?" The house was dead silent. I didn't waste another second. I grabbed my phone, my hands shaking so violently I could barely dial 911. Within 10 minutes, the wailing sirens pierced the stormy night, and 2 paramedics burst through my front door. One was an older man with kind eyes, but it was the younger paramedic who caught my attention. The moment he stepped into the living room, he froze. His eyes scanned the room, landing first on me, then on Lily, and finally, on the framed wedding photograph of David and me sitting on the mantelpiece. I watched his face drain of all color. He looked absolutely terrified. "Sir, please, help her. She won't wake up," I cried, desperate. The young paramedic snapped out of his trance. He rushed to Lily, checking her pulse and shining a light in her eyes. "She's had an allergic reaction, possibly to nuts or dairy. We need to administer epinephrine immediately and get her to the hospital." As they loaded my precious, unconscious daughter into the back of the ambulance, the young paramedic looked at me. His badge read Marcus. "Are you her mother?" Marcus asked, his voice trembling slightly. "Yes, I am," I sobbed. "I don't know what happened. I just got home. My husband was supposed to be watching her." Marcus stared at me, a deep, painful conflict flashing across his face. He hesitated, looking back at his partner who was busy adjusting Lily's oxygen mask. Then, leaning in close so only I could hear, Marcus whispered, "Your husband. David, is he still in the house?" I blinked, confused and frightened. "No, I don't know where he is." "Why, do you know David?" Marcus took a deep, shaky breath. "Ma'am, I shouldn't be telling you this. It's against protocol, but you need to know. David isn't who you think he is. We know each other. He was at my apartment just 2 hours ago." The world seemed to stop spinning. "What are you talking about?" I whispered, my heart hammering against my ribs. "Why would my husband be at your apartment?" Marcus looked down, a mixture of guilt and anger in his eyes. "Because David has been seeing my sister, Chloe, for the last 6 months. He told her he was a bachelor. He promised her he was buying a house for them. 2 hours ago, he was at our place, making dinner. He must have left his phone on the counter because Chloe saw a text message pop up. It was from you, saying you were coming home early." My breath hitched. The pieces of the puzzle began to violently crash together. David hadn't been home watching Lily. He had left our 6-year-old daughter home alone, entirely unsupervised, so he could slip away to be with another woman. Lily must have crawled into the kitchen, looking for food, and eaten something she was highly allergic to, with no one there to save her. "He panicked when he saw your text," Marcus continued, tears welling in his eyes. "He grabbed his coat and ran out. He didn't even realize he left his wallet behind. I saw his ID, saw his real last name, and realized he was married. Then, our dispatcher called us to this address. I prayed it was a coincidence. But it isn't." I sat in the moving ambulance, looking at my innocent, unconscious daughter, and then at the young paramedic who had just shattered my entire life. The grief was quickly replaced by a cold, burning rage. David had abandoned our child for a lie. By the time we reached the hospital, Lily was beginning to stir, her cheeks regaining their color thanks to the medicine. As they wheeled her into the emergency room, my phone buzzed in my pocket. It was a text from David. "Hey honey, sorry I missed your calls. Lily and I fell asleep on the couch. We are having so much fun. See you soon." Asterisk. I stared at the screen, a cold smile forming on my face. I looked up at Marcus, who was watching me from across the corridor. "Thank you, Marcus," I said softly, "for saving my daughter, and for opening my eyes." I sat down next to Lily's hospital bed, holding her warm little hand. I opened my phone and typed a reply to David. "Lily is at the hospital." The paramedic who saved her life is Marcus, Chloe's brother. He has your wallet. Don't bother coming here. Your bags will be on the driveway, in the rain. Asterisk.